everybody! Welcome back to the ABC's of RPGs, where we teach you the basics of tabletop role-playing games. My name is Spencer Reese. I'm going to be the game master for today, and we are playing the Fallout tabletop role-playing game. And before we go any further, let's go ahead and introduce our players for today. Dalton.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dalton. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to be playing a ghoul named Shambles today. He also uses he, him pronouns, and he's a tricky little guy who's after the only thing that matters in the world, a cure for his male pattern baldness.
Still male pattern baldness. If it's radiation induced, is it radiation?
Don't fucking talk about his hair.
I vibe with Shambles. Just like know that like me as the player vibes with the character Shambles. I guess it's a good segue for me to go now. Hi everyone, I'm Dan. Today I go he, him pronouns, and today I'm going to be playing Wham Bam. Wham Bam is a super mutant, and if asked his pronouns, Wham Bam would probably say Wham Bam, because he's not the brightest bulb in the lot. If you know anything about the Fallout universe, you'll probably know that super mutants aren't the smartest out there. So, with that, Ashley.
My name's Ashley. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing a human vault dweller named Blair Williams, who also uses she, her pronouns. And she has only been at a stasis for like 2 weeks, so this is a very new world for her to try to get used to. And along the way, she has adopted a very ugly irradiated dog that she has named Charlene.
Poor Charlene.
Yes, she's cute, ugly cute. So
Ugly cute.
Yeah. Send it back to you, Game Master.
All right, thank you guys. Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the Fallout universe, there have been 5 games. No, several more than that. Sorry, I keep forgetting. At first I was like, oh, only 4. No, there's 76. Oh, there's also Fallout Tactics. So there's quite a few games in the Fallout series. I believe that's right. There's even Fallout Shelter. I think Fallout 1 came out in 97, if I remember correctly. And today, well, technically last night, the Fallout TV show premiered. So now that's on Amazon Prime. We are not sponsored. I'm just excited that the show is coming out. But yeah, so Fallout takes place in it is a post-nuclear apocalypse. The whole world has been bombed to hell. In a kind of alternate history, this technically took the nuclear fallout, the end of the Great War, as they refer to it, started on Halloween in 2077, I believe, around the Halloween time, and just laid waste between China and America. It's kind of a alternate history because nuclear power became more popular, but other natural resources kind of disappeared, which led to desperate wars. So
the big split, the reason why nuclear became so popular.
Oh, Dan, I don't know why, but it cut out there for a second.
It cut out? Oh no, the reason why it was so popular is because they figured out fusion, is why.
That's it. Yeah. So, and that led to a lot of great technological breakthroughs and stuff like that. So that's why in 2077, in the Fallout universe, you'll see robots that hover and giant powered metal suits and stuff like that. So a lot of cool, crazy things. But it's set after this war, and now in this wasteland where tons of things are mutated and changed and dangerous, and society has collapsed. So that's kind of where this adventure takes place. Technically in the timeline, it's a little bit before Fallout 4, set in the Commonwealth as well, which you can think of it as the Boston area is kind of where this kind of takes place and everything. So we introduced our characters last week and kind of had a little intro session. But before we go too much into the recap, as we always start our adventures and with our different characters, I like to ask a get to know you question. Can somebody roll me a D260?
I got it.
Cool.
Make me do everything.
Goes that one.
200.
Scratching my head. I was busy.
What was that number, Dalton?
200. A suspiciously clean number.
All right. Well, okay. This is an interesting one. 200. Do you believe in ghosts? Why or why not? And then the bonus question in parentheses is, if so, are you afraid of ghosts?
To confirm, we're answering as our character.
Yes.
It's your character. So what does Wham Bam think of ghosts? What does Blair think of ghosts? And what does Shambles think of ghosts? And are they afraid of ghosts?
Wham Bam believe ghosts. Very real. Very, very, very real. I see them everywhere. In my memories, in my dreams. Yeah. Wham Bam.
Is Wham Bam scared of ghosts?
Oh. Wham Bam not scared of anything. Ghosts don't kill Wham Bam. But Wham Bam don't like that he can't hit ghosts with board.
A very real problem for Wham Bam. Not scared, just yeah.
It's very perplexing, you know. He doesn't know. He doesn't really know what bin to put. You know, like things you'd mess with. You know, robots, settlers, human. You know, whatever things you don't mess with. Death claws, synths. You know, he doesn't know where to put ghosts. It's like you know, they can't hurt me, but I can't hurt them. What? Yeah.
What do I do? Just ignore them? Who knows?
Wham Bam might also have confused the word ghosts with memories.
Oh. So that's why he says like he like think he can see them in dreams or thinks back on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, dude, that's two really weird words to confuse. They're like nothing.
No, I mean like, but like people become when they die, they can become ghosts. They can also become memories that way. So like, I you know, and I get that.
But ghosts.
Yeah. I understand Wham Bam. Wham Bam makes sense to me.
I wish we had the I wish it like we were allowed to use the X-Files sound, you know.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I would have dropped it there. So imagine it in your head.
Ashley, you were right about to say something. You want to go?
I'm sorry. Ashley.
Oh, yeah, sure. Blair is nope, solid no on ghosts. But she does think that there's things much scarier out there and much more worthy of being worried about than ghosts.
No scientific method to prove that ghosts exist, so.
She might get proven wrong, though, wandering these wastes. We'll see. What about you, Shambles?
Yeah, Shambles. Now, I don't know about any of that supernatural crap, but I've seen a lot of weird shit out in the desert. It could, sometimes you see stuff that's not there. Sometimes you see stuff that is there. I can cut it all the same.
Blair turns to Shambles and she's like, I think you're talking about mirages.
Are those ghosts? But those ghosts aren't in my head.
That it's just a trick your brain plays on you.
Who's to say ghosts ain't tricks?
And like Wham Bam just like run like he
gets real scared at that.
He's just like like and just like confusing he can't handle the cognitive dissonance that's happening right now. You know, just
too many big words. Well, perfect. Okay, great. Well, speaking of you three meeting each other, last week, all three of you were in a standoff. You kind of got outside Vault 93 with its door open, and all three of you kind of know, maybe you have one of your own reasons or another. I think we know Wham Bam's reason for wanting to go in this vault, but vaults usually hide a lot of treasures from pre-war era. So lots of good stuff in there. So could be a variety of different things that you guys want. Maybe it's information, maybe it's stuff. But basically you're kind of in a standoff between you three and another person, a older gentleman in a white lab coat who kind of introduced himself. He had a gas mask on. He kind of called out to you guys and interrupted you guys kind of getting to know each other and everything. So I think that was all that happened last week, just because we were introducing our characters. I asked a lot of different questions of kind of what was happening, but other than the person, the middle-aged man wearing a lab coat, coked in mud, you did hear a woman's scream pierce the air with the haunting words, "Help me, somebody," come from inside the vault. And that's when this person kind of stepped forward and introduced himself. Part of that introduction, he probably goes, other than saying kind of, we should go into the vault and save the person. I'm sure there's enough valuables inside for all of us. My name is Dr. Rast. I'm a physician from Far Harbor, quite a while to northeast. So, are you all friendly? Can we get along for a little bit?
Still in his cognitive dissonance from the big words, Wham Bam looks up at Rast and is just like, "Ah!" like, and that's it. Nothing else.
Is he gonna be okay?
I don't know. I just met
Postcards.
I just met the guy.
Yeah, he did say, like, hey, big guy, there's probably postcards in there. Let's relax. Let's think about postcards, right?
Yes, the images from far away. I have never imagined these places before, like ghosts. Anyway.
What is this? Did he introduce his name yet?
Yes, he said his name was Dr. Rast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. What is he wearing underneath the lab coat?
Yeah, let's see what else he is wearing. So I know that he's wearing the lab coat, caked in mud,
Sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
Phrasing. What is he wearing underneath that lab coat?
Wouldn't you like to see, Blair? So anyways, he's probably just wearing kind of, probably like a nice button up with like a tie.
Is it also muddy?
No, because his lab coat kind of goes over, so it was like a layer of protection. So I imagine it's more so like the edges or like the closer to his feet is where it's caked in mud. So
is it fresh or dried?
It's fresh.
Is there any mud around here?
Well, time for us to do a roll to see what you kind of see. But before we do that, let's introduce a couple mechanics just so you guys are familiar with. Last time, we went over the basic roll, but let's kind of go over action points because that is a central mechanic to what we're going to be doing here. So if you guys are on Roll20, I already have pulled up kind of like where you guys are with a little art with like a vault door and everything like that. So you guys, I've updated your character art and such. So go ahead and go to your journal tab and hold your characters and bring them over onto the map. And let me go ahead and put Dr. Rast on here. All right. Can everybody see the screen in Roll20? Yep. I see Shambles coming onto the map. If you guys want to be that size, I'll make Dr. Rast a little bit smaller.
I mean, we're the size we are. You're the one who is in control of.
That's right. So we can do that. We can do that. There we are.
I think we need a wham bam, Dan.
I know, I'm sorry. I made my you know what? I'll just populate this later. I made my character sheet way too big. So
Wham Bam's still having his existential crisis over in the corner.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to get this pulled up.
It's okay. While you're pulling that up, I'll go over action points. So action points, if you look, there is a top kind of like blue, like text at the top that's labeled action points. That is going to be your guys' action points. And then there's red on the bottom labeled action points. Those are going to be my action points as the game master. Now, you might be wondering, well, what the heck are action points? Think of action points just like in the game. It actually takes the name from the game. In the Fallout game, use action points. Well, I know specifically in like Fallout 3, 4, New Vegas, it kind of like pauses the game and you can use up the action points on the screen to basically just have the game kind of like sink in shots for you. It slows time down and there's percentage based, so you can kind of aim for like the head or the arm or something like that. It's kind of a neat way to kind of use RPG elements to kind of like slow down time and spend action points to shoot different body parts or do different things. In the Fallout tabletop role-playing game, action points are going to be very similar to other systems in the Modiphius 2d20 system. Dune calls it momentum. So basically, whenever you make a skill check and you get more successes than you need for that check, you gain extra action points. So it's going to be one for each extra success than what you needed to pass the test. You can spend action points to do a bunch of different things. If you're on page 18 of the Fallout, the role-playing game book, it says that you can use action points to buy additional d20s. And it gives like a little table to kind of show you. Like we said last week, to do a normal skill test, you always get 2 d20, but you can buy more d20s up to 5 d20s for a roll. So like buying 1 extra d20 to have 3 d20s for the roll is 1 action point. To buy 2 4d20s, it's going to cost 3 action points in total. And then to buy 3 d20s, essentially having 5 d20s in total, it costs all 6 of your action points. Because the most action points you guys can have is 6, and it is shared between all of you. It's a group pool that you kind of use. Some of the other stuff that you... Yeah, oh, did somebody have a question?
Related to that. So I know that when we're making different skill checks, there is difficulty associated with that from 0 to 5. Correlating to how many successes you need.
Yeah.
Do we know the difficulty level prior to deciding if we want to spend action points on?
Yes, I will say usually. The only time you wouldn't know is if it's a specific like check that says they're not allowed to know the difficulty at all. But normally you should know the difficulty before any rolls are done or buying of dice. So,
okay.
Yep. Because some skill checks can only be passed if you buy more d20s. Like, if you don't have any tagged skills for that thing and you're only rolling 2 d20s and you need 3 successes, there's no way you can do that. So that's what's kind of good to have that. Yeah. So, yeah. But was there any other questions for that?
You answered it. You can keep going.
Okay. So buying d20s is kind of like the main thing you'd use these action points for. Another thing, though, there is obtain information. So at any point in time, you can ask me a single question about the current situation based on your test. I will answer truthfully, but the answer might not be complete. So I can give a better example of this in a little bit. But I kind of think of this as information that's not immediately known. Like you may perform a test, and if you're successful on it, then you can also spend any action points generated to ask me additional questions. But I would kind of view this as like, you can always just kind of ask general information, but some stuff may be hidden that requires either a check or spending action points to kind of obtain that information. So the next thing you can spend action points on is reduce time. So action point from a successful test can allow the test to take less time to complete when time is important. Spending 2 action points halves the amount of time a test takes to attempt. So imagine if you're trying to hack a computer system and I'm like, okay, it's going to take like 10 minutes. If you succeed like 2 successes over than what you need, you can just use those action points to half that time to 5 minutes instead, which could be crucial. Last couple things are in combat. You can use 1 action point to take an additional minor action, which we'll get into minor actions and major actions when we have combat. But you can also spend 2 AP to take an additional major action. The only caveat is that any skill test you must attempt is increased in difficulty by +1 when you would take an additional major action. You can only take 2 major actions in a single round. Same thing with minor actions. You can only take 2 of those in a single round. So really, you can only do that once per round or your turn in combat. But you can also, on a successful melee attack or thrown weapon attack, you can spend AP to add 1 extra little Fall Out Boy D6 dice up to a maximum of +3 for 3 AP, which is great. So, Dan, that's going to be more relevant for Wham Bam, because you already get a ton of extra dice from your strength. But if you really want to sink in some damage, you can spend some AP to do that as well. So
yeah.
The only thing else that is kind of, I already said that, yep, you guys have a total of 6 AP as a group. I have an action point pool as well. I do not have a maximum for action points. But something else that's good to note is that, say you're attempting a skill test and you don't have any AP to buy D20s, you can actually generate action points for me to buy additional D20s. So I believe it is just for each AP you want to spend in this way, the GM adds 1 AP to your pool. So yeah, so it'd be the same 1 through your 6 action points that you'd be giving to me. But basically you can use that instead of paying your action points to give me action points instead. So it's kind of a risk though, gambling and giving me all that AP. So keep that in mind. And it's only for buying D20s in order to do that. That's the only time you can do that. But yeah, so that's kind of like, I just want to make sure that was clear before we kind of went more into the adventure, just because it's a central mechanic and good to know before we start rolling some dice and everything. So does the action points make sense for everybody?
Makes sense to me.
All right, so with that, you guys are outside the vault, and Ashley, you said that you want to kind of look around for what again?
I wanted to see if there was anything muddy nearby to explain why he was covered in mud.
Yeah, so let's go ahead, and I want you to make I'm going to use your perception attribute. And let's pair it with a skill. Let's see what would be the most relevant for this. Probably, I was originally thinking survival, because it's kind of like looking around and I guess like trekking across the wasteland seems like more of a survival thing. So adding perception plus survival makes sense to me. I'm not seeing a more relevant kind of perception right now. So let's go ahead and have you do that with a difficulty of 0. So knowing that's a difficulty of 0, there's no way you can fail this test. Any successes you do will add action points to the pool.
Okay. So my perception is 8.
Yeah.
And I have a rank 2 in survival. So does that make is it a difficulty check? Is that the word for it, or?
Yeah, very, very similar. It's a skill. They just call it a skill, like a skill test in Fallout.
I guess what's the name for the number for the 10. Like the number.
It's just a target number.
The target number. So would my number be 10 then? Because I have a rate 2 in survival.
Yep, you have to hit a 10 or under to be successful, which is a 50% chance on both the dice that you're going to be rolling.
And I roll 2d20.
Yep, unless you want to purchase extra dice, but you don't have any action points, so you'd only be able to do that by giving me AP instead.
1 success.
One
so
success.
We get 1 action point.
That's right. Let me go ahead and add a little bit of a little blue dice to your action pool right there. So we got that on the board. Something I forgot. What's that?
Oh, I did think of a question. For these difficulty 0 checks, is there any way where it would hurt you to make the check? Like if I failed both of them? Just so if I just rolled a d20 or a 20.
If you rolled a 20, it's kind of like getting a nat 1 in D&D. And basically what kind of comes with that, we haven't fully covered it yet, but it kind of hinders you in future things that you try to do.
Okay.
We can kind of go more over it when it actually happens, but just know that rolling a d20 is not good. So, or rolling a 20 on a d20. Yes, exactly.
No, everybody hates rolling dice. That's why we're here.
Yes. And I know that
real quick,
complication doesn't necessarily mean you fail the check.
Correct.
It just means that something happened, like maybe you rolled a d20 bartering with someone, and now it's going to be harder for you to barter with them in the future.
Yeah, like you could be. Yes, exactly. That's a very good example. It's basically you could get enough successes from your other dice, but if one of them rolled that 20, stumping still happens to you. Yeah.
All right, we move on.
So one of the things that I didn't mention yet, so the three dice that are already in my action pool was actually from some of the questions I asked you last week, and anytime you're acting particularly aggressive, that added dice to my pool. One of the other things too is that I do start as a game master with 1 action point per player as well. So I'm kind of sitting on a lot of dice right now, but I just wanted to let you guys know that beforehand. Now, let's go ahead and get into what you perceive. So you kind of look around. Blair looks around and kind of sees that it's probably been raining the past day or so. Toxic rain, if we will say. And so it's been kind of particularly muddy along like the dirt road, but you can just tell that he has been traveling in the wasteland for a while because some of the mud on his jacket is dry. Like he has fresher mud towards the bottom, but you can tell he's been really roughing it through like environment. It doesn't seem like he's been resting in any major cities or settlements, especially because of how caked in mud his lab coat is, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Now with that, you may attempt this test, but everybody may also make another perception test on the environment. Now this time it's a perception plus medicine test with a difficulty of 1. So,
and we can all make it?
So only 1 person can make it, but any one of you can make that test.
My,
Not Bam Bam.
Mine would be 10, would be my target number.
You said it was perception plus survival, Spencer?
Medicine.
Oh, sorry. Yes, perception plus medicine.
Mine would be 4.
Mine would also be 4.
I'll try it.
Just to let you know, too, this is one I will allow a group test on. So when your whole group attends a single large activity, like sneaking through an area together or traveling through a hazardous area, or in this case, all of you are kind of like looking and analyzing the environment around you, basically you can make, one of you can make the skill check, the skill test, with the other rest of the group assisting. So the leader of the group rolls a normal dice pool, 2d10 plus up to 3d20s that they buy through action points, so the same as normal. Everyone else rolls 1d20 using their own attribute plus skill. So long as the test leader achieved 1 success, everyone assisting adds any successes they generated to the leader's score. If those accumulated successes equal or beat the difficulty, the group has passed the test. Any complications generated by anyone in the group rolling a 20 can be applied by the game master after resolving the test and its consequences. So, if anybody wants to assist Blair, you're welcome to.
And we're assisting how exactly?
You roll just 1d20 and use your own attributes.
Oh, I mean like
your perception.
I mean in the fiction. Like, what is...
Like in the story, what are they doing? How can they help?
I don't know how it would be. Basically, you're just looking around in the environment, and I would imagine maybe both of you kind of spot something suspicious in that sense, if you wanted to play it that way.
Wham Bam doesn't help.
That's fine. Blair succeeded. 1 success.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Well, Blair, on top of that, you don't generate any extra action points, but that's okay. You see that there is a trail of blood. And let me go ahead and reveal that on the map. Boom. Trail blood. Okay. So the trail of blood, let me see here. Specifically, sorry, I was trying to read. Okay, got it. All right. So you see this trail of blood kind of like leading a little bit to like right here where you see it on the map, kind of like in between the vault door and you guys. But this is an opportunity to obtain additional information if you spend any action points. And I can kind of give you some example questions to ask if you'd like to know. But basically, if you want to spend any action point to learn more information, you can. But as of right now, you just spot that there is a trail of blood.
Is there any blood coming from Dr. Rast?
Well, you could spend AP to kind of get that answer if you want. Some of the other questions you could ask include, where does the blood trail lead? How fresh is the blood? And how much blood is present? So if you want to ask me, is there any blood on Dr. Rast? You can spend 1 AP in this instance to kind of find that out.
Dalton, what were you going to say?
I was kind of asking, like, is how this kind of works in the rules. Like, this is just something we can always do, right? We're always able to spend action points to obtain information. This is just, we learned a thing, and based off of us learning that thing, we might want to ask some questions and get some more information about it.
Yeah, some clarifying questions. Yeah, that's how the adventure is set up too.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it like sets parameters around how many questions the player can ask the game master. Like, you know, I feel like it gives the game master a lot of power to be like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you have to do something else to get this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not just gonna give it to you.
Ashley, what was your question? I feel like it was a good one.
I was wondering if there was any blood on Dr. Rast, like if he was bleeding, or if he was not bleeding and he had blood on him.
Yeah. No question. The DM. Okay. Yeah, I think something along those lines, like asking if the blood seems like it came from the doctor.
Yeah, if he was the cause of it. Okay, I'll go ahead and consume that action point to answer that question. And from the trail of blood, you kind of look back at Dr. Rast and analyze his lab coat. No blood is on him. Even though, and this is a lot of blood, it's a clear trail that goes into the vault, but none of it is on the doctor. As much of mud he is covered in. You don't see any signs of it.
All right, Doc, if that is your real title.
Wham Bam wants to go into the vault.
What do you know about this vault?
I don't know much to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming here because I think my daughter's in there.
That voice we just heard, does that sound like your daughter's voice?
Yeah, it does.
Why do you think she's here?
Who's to say? She's she's a vault dweller too, so I think she might be attracted to other vaults. They kind of provide safe havens for a lot of these things.
Wham Bam looks at the Dr. Rast and just, because he was on his knees, he was in dissonance. He stands up. He's probably towering over Dr. Rast at this point, and he just goes, "Okay, Doctor, but if you lie to Wham Bam's gonna eat you."
Eat?
And then he starts walking into the vault.
Oh. Is everybody else following Wham Bam, or what is the other party members doing?
I will follow Wham Bam as well. But I point out the trail of blood to Dr. Rast and like, hey, do you see this? What do you think of this?
Clearly, someone is losing quite a bit of blood, and it looks pretty fresh to me.
Oh, look at that genius doctor over here. Go on. And like I'll follow him in, like I want to be last.
Yeah. All right. So you guys start heading into the vault. As you get towards the entrance, the sound of rapid gunfire explodes from the open door to the vault, accompanied by flashing of barrels unloading towards the hill where you are gathered. A guttural male cry goes out from the entranceway. Scavengers out here trying to follow the girl. Light 'em up, boys. A moment later, a large muscle-bound bald man dressed in military fatigues, armed to the teeth, charges out of the vault towards you, opening fire wildly. Several other mercenaries follow behind him, equipped in the same fashion, with guns blazing. One of the raiders squeals with a mad glee. Nobody moves in on Rad Rocky's turf! And now we're going to start combat. So, how we are kind of doing this, if you guys want to follow along, it starts on page 23 for a lot of the combat. Mm-hmm. In the core rule book, it starts on... Combat starts on page 24 in the core rule book, if you want to kind of do. But the first thing we need to solve... Yeah, go ahead.
Shmenny Schmore. Sorry. Yeah. I'm just saying shit, sorry.
No, you're fine. Oh, so... let's see here. The first thing that we need to do... I gotta go over a lot of stuff with you for combat, but first, let's go ahead and make sure we know what turn order is. So let me add each of you to this. Add Dr. Rast in there, and our other bounty, our raiders here.
I do think
mine's 9.
Not to step all over your toes, Spencer, but we do something for initiative.
What's that?
The person, like the character who initiated combat, takes a turn before we figure out initiative.
That's right, yeah. I was just setting up initiative just to kind of introduce it first, because I was going to go over how combat exactly works before we started doing damage and all that.
Okay.
So, let's see here. So, initiative is equal to your character's perception plus agility. I believe all of you should have that written down on the right side of your character sheet above your health, if you guys know what that is.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, what is your initiative, Shambles?
12.
Great. And Blair?
Also 12.
Okay. And what is Wham Bam's?
9.
9. Oh, where did Wham Bam go? I thought I just had him in here.
I think I.
Oh, Wham Bam, your token disappeared.
I think I accidentally deleted Wham Bam. I tried to delete the 0.
He's gone. He's not coming back.
Poor Wham Bam.
Oh, sorry. I meant.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, I meant that instead of the. Yeah. Anyway. Savage. Do I need to drag Wham Bam back out?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just because in Roll20, if I drag him out, I believe you won't have control over him anymore.
All right. Wham. Banning. I think I dragged it out.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I see him right up there. Great. And what was Wham Bam's initiative again?
9.
9. Okay, perfect.
Apologies. Stream
No,
viewers,
you're okay.
YouTube viewers, everyone viewers.
Okay. Why is that? There we go. Oh, there should be. All right.
Wow.
Okay, so. So, yes, Dalton, you're absolutely right. Essentially, the sequence of play for combat, which is found on the bottom left of page 24, is initiate combat. The character who initiated the combat takes a single turn before the first round. And then it's initiative, which is list all the characters in order of their initiative statistics from highest to lowest. Then you take turns, and then you begin a new round. So, few things to go over. On your turn, you can attempt one major and one minor action on your turn. This minor actions are on page 25. They include things like aiming, drawing an item, interacting, moving, and taking a chem. Whereas major actions include assisting, attacking, commanding an NPC, defend, first aid, rallying, ready, sprint, and test. So performing like a skill test. We went over make an attack a little bit last week, but we'll go over that again as we kind of roll through this and everything. So, let's go ahead. Okay. So one of the other things too I want to introduce to you guys is the concept of areas, or zones, I should say, within the Modiphius's system. So, I'm going to go ahead and reveal the bottom half of the map. So with this, I've kind of divided up the area into different zones. Now, I could have easily just drawn these zones on the map itself, but I just kind of wanted to demonstrate how this would kind of look like, just like separated from the map above you. So essentially, there's kind of it doesn't exactly match up because I grabbed I grabbed some art from the book and everything, but essentially, I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys down to the hillside zone right down here. You can think of these zones as kind of like, instead of measuring on a grid map like five little inch squares that are like 5 feet apart, like in D&D. Moving and kind of doing stuff between the zones are just kind of like this. You can think of any zone that's right next to you as medium range. Close range is within the zone that's you're in, and long range is like two zones away from you, and extra long range, I think that's what it's called. Extreme long range is like 2 zones away from you. So a lot of different weapons will have those different ranges on them. But it can get complicated pretty fast, so we can go over that more when it's your turn. So, but Rad Rocky, the raider that is right here, is the one who initiated combat. So let's go ahead and have him take a turn real quick, and he is just going to probably take the major action attack. And just make an attack on probably the biggest thing he sees, which is gonna be wham bam. So, Dan, how making attack works is that he's going to choose a weapon and target. So, Rad Rocky has on himself a sharpshooter's pipe revolver, and that uses his agility plus small guns. So, he's going to choose you as a target, and let's see here. His range for that sharpshooter's pipe revolver is close quarters or range of close. So since you are one zone away from him, I believe it is +1 to the difficulty, because that is on, let me double check on the weapon ranges real quick. It is on page 28 for the weapon ranges. And for close weapon, yeah, since you are one zone away, that's going to be medium range. So it's going to be +1 to difficulty for his attack. But Dan, what is your defense?
My defense, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Should be to the left of your initiative on your character sheet.
Yes.
It's going to be a 1 or a 2.
I'm literally looking at my character sheet right now. Oh, 1.
It's a 1.
Wasn't to the left.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. So most characters are just going to have a defense of 1 or 2. I believe by wearing different armor that will kind of augment that. But yeah, it's based on your agility, I believe, and most characters starting out should only have like a 1 defense. So Rad Rocky right here is choosing you as a target, and because your normal defense is 1, but because you're a zone a 1 out from his close range weapon, it's going to be a 2 successes difficulty for him to make the shot on you. So let me double check what his target number is. His target number to shoot you is an 8. So he's going to try to roll to see hit just 2d20. I'm not going to use any of my action points. He's just going to roll 2d20 and seeing if he's going to go, if he's going to get 2 successes from this. Let's see here. So he rolled under an 8 both times. He rolled a 7 and a 5, granting him 2 successes and thus making the hit on you, Dan. So his sharpshooter's pipe revolver does 3 little fall dice, which is just 3d6s of piercing 1 physical damage. So I'm going to roll 3 dice right now. And remember, these are a little bit different. We don't have the fallout dice in here. Or, well, you guys have it from your character sheet. But a 1 to 2, a 1 on the dice is 1 damage. A 2 is 2 damage. A 3 and a 4 do nothing. And a 5 and a 6 do 1 damage plus an effect. So he got a 2 already with 1 of his dice. So that means he's going to be doing at least 2 damage. But let me calculate what his additional thing is. It doesn't seem like it has any additional effects. So it's just going to be 3 physical damage to you, Dan. So how this is resolved. So essentially, it's going to be after he makes the hit. Let's see here. He's going to determine his hit location. So he's going to roll 1d20 to kind of see which body part he hits you in. Because he did not he did not choose a specific body part coming out to hit you. So he got a 13. The table to see what the hit location is on page 28 of the core rulebook. And 13 is the right arm for you, Dan. So, knowing that, let's see here. Do you have any damage resistance on that arm to physical damage?
No.
Okay. So, you're just going to take, what did I say? 3 physical damage to that arm.
Okay, so question.
Yeah?
On my sheet in Roll20, it says my max HP is 15.
Okay, yeah.
But it says 0 out of 0. So how am I supposed to disperse my HP across the limbs?
Huh. I'm not sure. I haven't used the character sheet in Roll20 just yet. I wonder.
Actually, is it 0 out of 0 for you guys too?
Yeah, I've been trying to
Yeah.
looking through the rules.
Body parts, but it does list out what that number would be. So like 1 to 2 is head, 9 to 11 is left arm, 3 to 8 is torso, for where it hits. But
yeah, like it
because I don't have any sort of damage resistance, but I don't know how you distribute HP among your body.
You don't distribute HP among your body parts, as far as I'm aware. It still goes to your health pool. It's just, I think that's mainly for considering,
if you have any sort
like
of
critical hits,
helmets, things like that.
Yeah, that stuff.
Well, wouldn't that be like the damage reduction? Like we have an HP like something out of like X over Y on all of our body parts. What's the
significance?
What goes there? What is it used for?
I don't know. If I'm gonna be honest, from all my readings and all my understandings, it still just minuses from your HP total. I believe the only things we use the body parts for is for when you get a critical hit of 5 damage or more, and if you have any specific armor on those body parts.
Okay, so maybe armor has HP that can
be lost to destroy it.
Possibly.
Okay, let's try and figure that out then.
Okay. Well, we can revisit it. As far as I'm aware, it won't affect anything right now.
It's on page 32. So basically, it doesn't really say anything about dispersing it across all the body parts. It doesn't really define that, unless I'm not seeing it. Maybe we can look into that. But what I am seeing is that there are certain effects based off of. So, like Spencer said, if you take 5 or more points of damage in one hit, you suffer a penalty. And there's a certain penalty for arm, leg, torso, and head. So I think it's just going to come out of our max, like Spencer said, it's just going to come out of our max torso or point total, and then go from there. And I think we just, if we take 5 or more points on a hit, we just need to know that we need to reference this. And I think we can maybe ignore the HP for now, at least for this session, and we can look into it next session.
Well, my other question though is, do we need to record that we're getting damage to a certain body part? Is that going to be relevant later?
So the only thing it says on page 32, I think it's if you get more than 5 in one hit. So I think we just need to remember the rule that if it's 5 points of damage or more
in one hit,
in like one hit. So no, we don't need to track it. We just need to remember.
I think I figured out why it's there. I think it's just there for power armor.
Okay, great.
It looks like pieces of
power armor works differently.
Yeah, it looks like pieces of power armor have HP.
Per body part.
Per body part, right? And yeah, I don't think it would only, you would only gain HP on a given body part if you were wearing power armor on that body part.
Yeah, for the most part, just like Dan was saying, you can kind of like aim shots, but it seems like normally shooting a different body part or the random hit location is only going to affect if you have armor there, so it might up your damage resistance for a certain thing, or it might inflict an injury. So, but neither of those things happen, so you just take 3 damage, Dan, And I think that was it. He reduces his ammunition. And then that is the end of Rad Rocky's first initiative turn. And now we end because he initiated combat. And now we start at the very top of initiative order. It is important to note, I believe you can use, in initiative, you can use, let's see here. I'm pretty sure you can use an action point to jump ahead in combat. No, it's lucky timing. In a combat encounter, at the start of any turn or immediately after any other character or creature has acted, you may spend 1 luck to interrupt the normal initiative order and take your turn for this round immediately. This counts as your normal turn. It simply allows you to act earlier, and if you cannot do it, you cannot do it if you have already taken a turn this round. So that's a good thing to know, that each of your luck points, if you ever want to jump ahead in the initiative order, like before Dr. Rast here, or before Rad Rocky before he takes his turn, you guys may do so.
I don't think we have any action points at the moment.
No.
Oh, no, that's luck.
Oh, right, luck, right.
Yeah, so luck points. And remember, your luck points is... Yeah.
I can use a luck point to get back at Rad Rocky for what he just did to me.
Hell yeah, you can.
I'm going last. I'm absolutely do that.
Yeah. So yeah,
just it's not even luck, it's anger. He just goes like, yeah, I'm gonna whap the hell out of the guy.
Perfect, great. So yeah, like for example, what is Wham Bam's luck score?
5.
5, great. So yeah, it looks like you have 5 out of 5 luck points. They regain, I believe, at the end of a like scene, or I think like a quest. I can double check on that, but I'm pretty sure it's like when you rest. Yeah.
From what I remember, what the book said, it's basically when the GM will just tell you your luck refreshes. You know.
Perfect. Can't be used again until the game master refreshes them when you reach a milestone in your quest. Okay, great.
Yeah,
so I get to decide. Or trinkets, that's right. So yeah, so Wham Bam's using his luck to do lucky timing, and minuses that. So now, instead of going all the way last, you're gonna take your turn now. So I'm just go ahead and move you to the top right now, just so we know you're taking your turn. So
all right.
Yes.
I want to charge him.
Perfect. So basically, you can attempt one major and minor action on your turn. So you can use a minor action to move, and you can move up to 1 zone to any position within medium range. So you can go ahead and just move into the zone with these 3 raiders if you would like to do so.
Yeah, 1 second. I want to where is... Because I think I want to do the pain train.
Yeah.
Because I think that actually has like zone locations too, and now I'm trying to
Oh, that's great then. Yeah.
It might. Oh crap! I wrote it down somewhere in my thing. I copied pasted it. You may charge as a major action if you are wearing power super. This is it does. When you take, you may not use move or sprint in the same action. When you take this action, you move into reach of an enemy. A strength plus athletics test with a difficulty of 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you succeed, the enemy suffers damage equal to your normal arm damage and is not prone. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay, awesome.
So basically, I have 2d20, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so strength plus athletics, my strength was a 12.
Yeah. And
my athletics is... Sorry, my computer is laggy.
It's okay.
Dan.
That base ability, instead of using his defense, it's actually just a difficulty of 2 for you to do, right?
Yeah, what's his defense though, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, his defense, let me bring that up, is a 1.
Okay, so I'm making it literally harder on my...
A little bit.
Dan.
You're moving into the zone.
Your pain train thing, that's just one major action. Lets you like move and attack in one go.
Yeah.
So you'd still have your minor action.
Yeah.
I think you could technically aim before you do that.
Oh?
Because aiming is a minor action that lets you re-roll 1d20 on the first attack roll you make on a turn.
Yeah.
So you could kind of like what bulls do, like kind of stamp the ground a little bit, stare them down, get yourself pumped up.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dalton, you said it was the first like dice I roll, so I technically should roll once, and then if that one is a fail, roll again. If not, roll second, right?
It says re-roll 1d20 on the first attack roll you make. So I think you could roll it all at once and technically like re-roll one of the fails.
No, sorry, I thought.
So you could re-roll that 20.
Okay, so my athletics was a 3, by the way. So the target number is 15. So would that 15 be a success or a fail?
Success. If it meets it, it beats it.
Awesome. So I get to re-roll. Thank you for that.
Which is good. You don't want a complication. Ooh.
Damn. Okay. So pain train doesn't work?
It doesn't, because you would need success, like to meet the successes in order to do it. So the thing is, though,
to use another luck point somehow?
Let me take a look. So there's luck of the draw, but that's adding something to a scene outside of combat. Stack deck, which is attempting before a skill test. Misfortune, you may spend 1 or more luck points to reroll dice in a dice pool you roll. You may reroll 1d20 or up to 3 little d6s by spending 1 luck point. You can spend multiple luck points on a roll. Each die may only be rerolled once. You cannot reroll a dice that has already been rerolled. You must accept the rerolled result even if it's worse than the original one. So I think I think by the wording, since it says you cannot re-roll it if it's already been re-rolled, I think that might have been referring to misfortune, but we did use it on this dice, so.
Yeah. All right, pain train failed. Damn.
But you're still in that zone, which means that you don't have to use your you didn't have to use your minor action to move that turn.
Yeah.
So now you can just aim again next turn, since you're in that zone, using that close range weapon. So
yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, with that, I'll go ahead and move you down. Dr. Rast is set to go next. Did anybody else want to also use their luck?
No, I'll see what happens.
Okay, cool. Same for Shambles?
Yeah, I've got my eyes on the duck, so
okay,
I'm watching him.
So let's see here. I forget if he's supposed to do anything specifically. Okay, so let's see, can he do this to help you guys? I think he can. So he doesn't pull out a weapon. He doesn't appear to have a weapon on him. I'm trying to see if he can take the major action rally one to help you guys out. Because rallying as a major action, you basically make a endurance plus survival chest, or something else that kind of aligns with whatever you're doing to rally yourself or your team. Like you could do a charisma plus speech to inspire your allies. And it's a difficulty 0. It's basically just to generate action points. Let's see here. So I'm trying to see, even though he's an NPC, if he can do that to kind of help you guys out. I think it looks like to me he can do that for you guys. I don't see any rolling in the rally major action on page 26 that says anything otherwise. So I think he's just going to try to roll some dice, charisma plus speech to rally you guys to try to help you out. He doesn't have... Okay, he does have speech. He has 3, and he has that as a tag skill. And it was perception, I believe? No. Charisma plus speech. Yeah, of course. 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's going for a target number of 9. And if he gets 3 or under, he gets 2 successes. Okay, so he got 1 success. So he generates 1 action point for you guys. So let me go ahead and add an action point to your pool. And that's what Dr. Rast does on his turn. He helps you guys out. Because I don't think he can use a major action or a minor action to really do anything. No, he'll probably just stay there. Yep, that's all he does. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's not going to. He's staying with you guys on the hillside right now. And so, okay, Rad Rocky is back up unless somebody else wants to do something. But both of you passed your last turn. Are you guys both doing that again? Just to double check.
Yes, I'm not using any luck.
Okay, cool. We're just gonna do Rad Rocky.
Letting initiative play out.
Yep. Perfect. Sorry, just making sure. Feel free to interrupt me if I start doing a turn. You're like, no, I want to interrupt. You can do that. So, Rad Rocky's gonna do the exact same thing. This time he is still gonna probably attack the giant super mutant in front of him. His pipe revolver is close quarters. So as we were discussing before, on the weapon range difficulty on page 28, a close range weapon has it doesn't add anything to the difficulty at the close range. And since you are in the same zone as him, Dan, your defense is 1, so I believe he just has to get 1 success in order to hit you with the pistol, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. He's making his agility plus small guns with his target number of 8. Okay. He got a complication! Look at that! And he also didn't get it. Okay.
He was scared.
He got real scared. He's peeing his pants right now. Oh, man. Okay, so let me bring up complications real quick. So complications is basically, when attempting the test, it causes a complication, a new detail in the scene that makes it more difficult, that comes into effect once the test has been resolved. A complication could introduce a new problem, like a gun jamming or breaking a lockpick. You can make it a specific skill test, blah, blah, blah. Like insulting a merchant, like Ashley said, that increases the difficulty plus by 1. Complications do not prevent you from succeeding. They just introduce something new. Yep. If you and the Game Master can't come up with a complication for the scene you're in, the Game Master can instead gain 1 action point for use for their non-player characters and creatures later. So I think the gun jamming is a excellent thing that happens. So his gun is going to jam and he cannot fire it. So that's what happens. Yeah. So he can't use his gun right now. I'm trying to see if he wants to do any minor actions. He does. So as his minor action, he's going to draw an item and he's going to take out his tire iron now. So he pulls out his melee weapon instead. And that's all he does. Next up in turn order is Shambles, the ghoul.
Cool. I'm gonna walk up to the vault entrance, readying my pipe gun.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shoot one of the lackeys, I think.
Lackeys. Okay, great. That lackey's defense is a 1.
What happens if I click this button?
If it just rolls for you, yeah. If you want, since you're choosing weapon and target, if you wanted to choose a particular hit location, you can. It just increases the difficulty by 1. But if you were aiming for like a specific body part, of course you would do all the things without having to randomly roll for the body part. So
I mean, does he look like he's wearing any like armor or anything?
No, nothing. I mean, he's wearing his normal armor, but like aiming for a particular place wouldn't affect much. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. No. Sorry. Let me take that back. He does have armor on his torso and arms that has physical damage resistance of 1 and energy damage resistance of 1.
Okay.
That goes the same for Rad Rocky as well. I'm sorry. I should have actually looked at the character sheet and before being like, no, of course not.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to choose to like aim for a particular spot. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hit.
Yeah.
I don't have any additional dice from anything, but the pipe gun does have a range of close, and I'm in the same thing. So, I think I'm just rolling 2d20 right now.
Yep.
My small gun is 3 plus my agility is 8. So I think I'm trying to hit an 11 or lower.
Is that a tag skill or is that just a normal skill?
My small guns is a tag skill, yeah.
Perfect. So 2 successes if it's a 3 or under. Damn.
No.
The shot goes wide. Everybody's guns.
I clicked big guns instead.
Oh, okay. Roll. Yeah.
No, I mean like the numbers 12 and 17 still wouldn't hit the target.
Oh, okay.
Like if I hit small guns, my target, is 11.
Oh, okay. So, well, that's good to know. Well, so we were going to use that top one instead, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to double check my small guns target.
Make sure it was working. Okay, cool. Well, unfortunately, that was both your major and minor action, correct, Dalton?
Yes.
Okay. Well, next up, we have Blair. Blair, you are going before both of the raiders.
Does it cost anything to talk to people?
I don't think it does. Let me see here. There is a major action that's command a PC, or NPC, I'm sorry. But that's
I think that would be me telling Rast to do something.
I think, yeah, that's what that means.
There is a major action to just like perform a test of some kind. So like if you were maybe trying to like intimidate them into backing down or like threaten them or like appeal to them in some way, it might fall under that.
I see.
But if you're just trying to like...
I'm just going to throw a Molotov cocktail into...
Hell yeah! Light them on fire!
So I will need help knowing how to do this. It's explosive with the thrown and blast properties, so I don't know how to throw things.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's go ahead and make sure we're doing this right. So first off, I think you're choosing your weapon and target, and I think, let's see, explosive weapons do work a little differently. I think it affects everyone in a zone, so that might affect your teammates as well, but let me double check real quick.
Maybe I should shoot instead.
Shooting might be better right now. Explosives start on page 120. Is that a little bit different? Throwing weapons. Let's see here. No, that's not what it's in for. Okay, explosives. No, that's not what I was really... Okay. Explosive. No, this is blast. Is that a blast? It's not a blast weapon. It's an explosive weapon, right?
Yes. Well, it has the blast and thrown properties, but it is an explosive.
Okay. So thrown. A thrown C weapon can be thrown as a ranged attack with an ideal range of close. Is it a thrown M weapon or a thrown C weapon?
M.
M? Great. So at medium range is basically how that works. So since you are like one zone away at medium range, I think you don't have it's like a 0 difficulty modifier to it. So it would just be the normal difficulty. Blast. I'm looking at qualities on page 90, by the way. Sorry, I should have clarified that. On page 90, a lot of the different weapons that we're using that have all these different attributes to them are found on page 90, which kind of details them more in detail. It's under the equipment chapter on the Fallout book. So, like, there's stuff in here like accurate, close quarters, concealed. So that's where a lot of this stuff is what I'm pulling from now. And blast is when you make an attack with a blast weapon, you do not target a single opponent. Instead, select a single zone you can see and make the appropriate skill test to attack, with a basic difficulty of 2, adjusted for range as normal. If you succeed, every creature and other damageable target in the zone suffers the weapon's damage. If you fail, your misplaced attack is less effective and roll only half the weapon's d6 damage dice to deal the damage inflicted to the creatures in the target zone and ignore the weapon's normal damage effects. So that's neat. It's kind of like if you use a blast weapon, it's always going to deal damage, but like rolling a success will make sure it does its full damage. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that probably would have been
information. I'm going to actually use my pistol.
Great.
Because I'm going to damage my group mates if I throw a Molotov cocktail into that zone.
Yeah.
So I have a 10 millimeter pistol, which is in the small guns category. It's a close range, close quarters and reliable. So that means I have to also go into the vault entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And does that cost a minor action to do so?
Yes, a minor action is to move. So that's what that would be.
I guess I'll come over here and I would like to shoot this man right here.
Oh, sorry. Which man is it again? The one on the bottom left? Okay, great.
The one
Go
right
ahead. I should have made these circles bigger. his defense is only 1. So you are choosing him as a target. Next up, did you want to choose a hit location to increase the difficulty of the attack by 1, or are you just taking it like that?
I just want to shoot him. I feel like I'm panicked and I'm not really that great, so I don't think I'd be... Like, I'm aiming at him, but I'm just hoping I hit him somewhere.
Perfect. Great. So go ahead. You said you used your 10 millimeter. Is that agility plus small guns for your ranged weapon?
I don't know.
Yes.
How do I know that answer?
I believe that's what it is. Sometimes next to your weapon, it will say what it is. I believe small weapons use the agility plus small guns, so I think we're safe there. Because it's not endurance plus big guns or perception plus energy weapons, because I don't think it's an energy weapon or a big gun. So.
Okay. So it's agility. It's definitely small guns, and that uses agility. So I use... Oh my god, I'm gonna be so bad at this. I'm good at explosives, but everybody's in a group. So so my target number for that is gonna be 5.
5. Oh man. Okay.
And then it has a fire rate of 2, so what does that mean for me?
So this is only gonna come up when you're inflicting damage, but the cool thing about that is on page 29, you can increase the damage for ranged weapons. For each unit of ammunition you spend, it adds +1 of the combat dice to the damage dice pool. So you can spend ammunition up to the gun's fire rate. For example, a 10 millimeter pistol has a fire rate of 2, so you can spend 2 additional bullets to increase the combat dice pool. Essentially, that's what that means. It's if you know the enemy has a lot of health, it's good to just use that. But if they're on the edge of it, it's really you could waste bullets essentially by doing that. So.
And then is it 2d20 that I'm rolling, or is it?
It's 2d20. If you wanted a additional d20, you can use the action points in the pool. But you only need 1 success in order to do that. So if you want to just roll your 2d20 you normally get, you can do that.
I have a complication.
Oh no.
And neither of my shots hit.
Okay.
Use your luck. You could spend a luck point to re-roll the complication.
You could do that.
I would like to do that. That is a great idea. Wham bam.
That's all Dan. That's not Wham Bam.
I just imagine now Wham Bam being.
It worked. I got lucky.
I am like, you know, when you're playing the Fallout game.
Yeah.
Cartoon character comes up and it's like.
Yeah.
Like that's how I am. No, that's how I am for Wham.
Yeah, you pop up.
You're just Wham Bam's Clippy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh man. See, I just thought in my head canon, like in order to make this successful, Wham Bam just turned and was like, shoot better or like shoot harder.
No.
And then she actually no.
So I used my 1 point of luck to re-roll that d20, and now I have a 3, which is a success.
Yes.
And it's
you
4.
only needed 1 to succeed, so yeah, you get to make your damage.
And it's 4 combat dice that I roll.
Great. Did you want to spend any extra bullets? Because
nope. I only have 8 bullets.
Okay. So just remember when you're rolling these. Oh yeah, you did the quick roll, so it works just fine.
5 damage is what it says.
Oh, this is amazing because not only is it going to do damage, it's going to inflict an injury, and we forgot to roll for the hit location. So can you roll 1d20 so we can see where this injury is going to be located?
7. It's the torso. He's bleeding out.
Great, yes. So the damage effect torso. Let's see here.
You should double check that he's wearing torso armor.
It's a great question. That's PM
torso armor. So instead of it dealing, so it reduces damage by 1 to 4 instead. Thank you for catching that, Dalton.
So then it's no longer critical, which is fine.
Yeah, but still, you dealt 4 damage to him, and he is looking, if I may use D&D terms for this, he's looking bloodied. So he looks like he's only at half health now.
Very cool.
But okay, so it looks like that wasn't an injury, and that's just make sure you mark down that you used that ammunition, Ash.
And that was 1 bullet that I used. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Unless I wanted to do anything with the fire rate.
Correct.
Which I said no.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I think there's like wording if it uses more bullets and stuff like that, because I think some weapons do have you use multiple shots in one attack, but I don't think your pistol does that, so I think you're okay.
Okay.
Next up, we're gonna have Raider number at the top. So he's gonna choose a target. Let's have him go ahead and choose you as a target, Shambles. He's not gonna choose a hit location. He's using a pipe gun. His target number is 8. It's a close range weapon, so we don't add any difficulty to it. What is your defense, Dalton?
1.
1? Okay. So he just needs 1 success, so he needs his 2d20. He needs only one of them to be 8 or under. And neither of them are under 8. So he goes wide and does not shoot you, Shambles.
Ah.
Now, this next one that just got shot by Blair is going to do the same thing. He has the same stats, so he's choosing you as the target, Blair. And what is your defense?
1.
1, yeah. That makes sense. You have to have really high, I believe, agility in order to have it higher or armor. So he is going to make the same attack, target number 8. Okay, so he did get a shot on you, Ash.
Okay.
On Blair. He got a shot on Blair. His pipe gun does 3 damage dice of physical damage. So let's see here. Oh,
so I would just subtract from my max HP because I don't have any physical damage resistance.
Yes, he hasn't rolled his damage dice just yet. I just read that his weapon is unreliable, so hold on. When you make an attack with an unreliable weapon, increase the complication range of the attack by 1. Oh, okay, so yeah. Basically, they score a complication on a 19 and 20 instead of just a 20. So that's
What
good to
does
know.
the reliable feature mean?
I believe you get to re-roll a dice. Let's see here. Oh, no. Reliable means you ignore your first complication you roll on a test to use that weapon.
So I didn't need to spend luck because it had
No, but you got the hit. You wouldn't have hit otherwise.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so he got the 1 hit. So it's just 3 damage dice for him. So he does 2, 3, 4 physical damage to you in total because the 2 represents 2 damage. Each of the 5s is a damage plus a effect, but I don't believe his pipe gun has an effect on it. So I think that is it.
Okay, so I take 4 damage, and I just subtract that from my HP.
From your health total.
Great.
And Wham Bam already took his turn, so we're back at the top of turn order for a new round with Dr. Rast. And I think this is a good point to take a quick break after our first round of combat. Before we break away, how's everybody feeling? I know we kind of rushed into combat and everything, and there's a lot to it, but is everybody kind of understanding the process so far?
Yeah, makes sense to me so far.
So far, it's definitely interesting that they all have... There's a lot of different rules and features to be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And keep track of for, like, thrown versus reliable, unreliable, things like that, which adds a lot of... Definitely makes it crunchy for some people.
Just like the Fallout game, there's a ton of different weapons with different like traits and everything. So knowing what you kind of want to go for is a little bit difficult at the beginning, but yeah. All right. Well, with that, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in probably about 10-15 minutes or so. So stay tuned and we'll kind of resume what happens in this combat encounter. So we'll see you all soon.
Cool.
Hey everybody! Welcome back to the ABCs of RPGs, where we teach you the basics of tabletop role-playing games. My name is Spencer. I am the game master for our Fallout tabletop role-playing game. And I'm joined by my players, Dalton.
Hello everybody, my name is Dalton. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Shambles, a ghoul who also uses he, him pronouns. And he's recently gotten pissed off by a couple of raiders coming out of a vault that he was about to go into. Dan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. What's up, everyone? I'm Dan. I'm playing a character. Oh, I have he, him pronouns. I am playing a character, super mutant, named Wham Bam. Wham Bam has Wham Bam pronouns. So, Ashley, if you would be so kind to introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name's Ashley. I use she, her pronouns. I'm currently enjoying these Sour Patch Tropical Kids. No, we're not sponsored. They're interesting. They're very interesting. I think I prefer the regular Sour Patch Kids. That's my hot take. I'm playing a character...
It's not a hot take at all.
Not a hot take. That's a normal take.
That's a
norm.
Perfect take.
I'm playing a character named Blair Williams. She uses she, her pronouns, and I don't know. You think they had Sour Patch Kids back in the 50s? She might like them.
They had
licorice and bottle caps and Necco wafers. Bottle caps are the only good thing to come out of that time. But yeah, it's been fun.
Objectively wrong, but I'm glad you think so.
This is one of her first times in like real hand-to-hand or gun-to-hand combat, besides chasing off some bullies who were throwing rocks at her canine companion, who is, I imagine Blair has sent Charlene to kind of wait in the background and, kind of stay out of the line of fire. Or maybe Charlene ran away when gunfire erupted, so she's not around right now, which, if that's something that's okay with the game master.
Yeah, absolutely. Does the perk, because it's the perk dog meat, does it have any special rules for telling her when to attack people, or does she act on her own? Because I know there is the major action to command an NPC, but I wasn't sure if there was something included in that perk, since you specifically get dog meat to come along. If you can use that to command on maybe on a minor action you get to do it or something like that. So
the players can command them in combat. NPCs under a PC's command have only a limited range of actions they can take when they follow a few basic rules. Okay. So I think it would be using my action to
issue a command. Okay.
Which makes sense. And they have directions for the different abilities. They have attacks and stat. They have a whole stat block that I can use, but yeah, so basically I would need to take an action to command dog meat to attack, essentially.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm not sure if I would have needed to take an action to command dog meat to run away.
Yeah. I'm curious about how that works, because it seems like you need to use your major action to do that. But one of the special abilities is when attack dog, when dog meat assists on one of your attacks, he must move within range of the target, and he inflicts his own melee damage on the target if the attack is successful. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so maybe that I do it with. I don't know. That's interesting, because I saw the other section where it said that you have to use a major action to command the NPC to do something.
Yeah, and it's choose a single major action for them to take. So it's not so even getting the assist, you'd have to waste a major action on one turn just to get an assist on the next turn. So that's interesting.
If we're reading it wrong, or if that's how to play that rule, because it doesn't really clarify in the information or in the stat block.
Yeah. Well, I'll do some digging. Maybe I can find out if other people have had questions about this same issue on Reddit or something. So
yeah.
But anyways, to get back to the action, you guys were in a standoff in the front of the vault, and you discovered the blood trail leading into the vault. And you guys, along with Dr. Rast, started making your way towards the vault entrance when all of a sudden gunfire erupted, and now some raiders have emerged from the vault and started attacking you guys. You've exchanged a few hits. One of the raiders is looking a little bit worse for wear. And then also they got some hits on Wham Bam. So that's where we're currently standing. We're at the top of initiative order once again with Dr. Rast. And once again, if anybody wants to interrupt by spending a luck point to go before somebody else, you're welcome to do so. Dr. Rast, once again, he doesn't pull out a weapon or anything, but I think he's going to do rally once again. So charisma plus speech. Let me double check what he was doing for what he needed for that. His speech is 3, its attack skill, his charisma is 6. So he needs to roll 9, and anything 3 or under is 2 successes for him. And neither were 9. So he kind of calls out, this time a little bit weaker than the last. He just spent last round giving you some inspiration, go get them, these guys are no good. And this time he flows a little bit and he goes, yeah, keep going. and doesn't really inspire you guys that much. So that is Dr. Rast's turn.
For the follower, for your followers and companions for reference, here is how they work. An allied NPC does not use their own initiative score. Rather, they act immediately before or after the player character that controls them. So Dogmeat either goes right before you or right after you. They automatically perform any minor actions needed to keep up with the player character that commands them, or to follow any order issued. Action points do not need to be spent for the NPC to perform these minor actions. So like they'll always just kind of like move along with you. Even if you sprint and move 2 zones, they'll just kind of automatically do that.
Run with you. Yeah.
And an NPC may not take any major action other than assist without being commanded to do so. Commanding an NPC to take a major action is itself a major action. So Dogmeat will automatically assist
On attacks.
Yes, he'll automatically take the assist major action unless he is told otherwise.
And that would be the assisting with like a bite, like an attack dog, because it says like assisting with an attack in the.
Yeah, so if you go into your major actions, assist is a major action. You assist another character with their next test. When the character you're assisting takes their turn, attempts their task, you provide assistance. If you've not acted this round, you may give up your turn later in the round to assist an ally when they attempt a test. That test could be the like attack test, and if that is the case, then Dogmeat's ability, I can't remember the name of it, attack dog would activate.
Okay.
He'd be assisting in one of your attacks, and so he would move within reach of the target and do his bite damage.
Bite damage, yeah.
But that would also give you an extra die since he's assisting you. I think. Or he might roll the 1 die.
It has a stat block of like the damage. I think it's 1 damage die and it's vicious.
Yeah, but to form like the initial dice pool to see if you succeed or not. Not the damage dealt.
I got you. Yeah, I guess because it's the assist, it would be an additional. Would it? I don't know. He's not helping me shoot better.
You provide assistance, which is on page 16. Assistance.
You assist another character with their next test. When the character you're assisting takes their turn or attempts an attack, you provide assistance. Yeah, page 16. Which I think is just adding that 1d20.
So
using your own stats.
Well, no. Spencer, you as the GM decide an attribute and skill combination that they're assisting with. And that individual will roll 1d20 against that particular attribute plus skill target number.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably roll that as like a body melee, since that's what the bite is. And I like to imagine Charlene's probably doing that, unless you want something else to be that. Like if she was like jumping, or if you described the assisting in a different manner. But that's good to know. And I've created a little token for Charlene if you want to pull her onto the board, Ash.
Okay.
You should see it in your journal, and you should have control, editor control over it. Let me make her a little bit bigger. Or wait, that's kind of perfect size to be that size.
Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. Okay.
With that, I'm going to use a luck point.
You're going to go before Rad Rocky?
Yeah, I'm going to go before Rad Rocky, and I'm going to shoot him.
Yeah, all right. Shoot Rad Rocky. You shoot Rad Rocky.
Shoot him with a pipe gun. No, I think we have an action point, right?
We sure do.
No. You aren't included in we. You're other.
I have different action points.
You have like 6 action points. We have 1 action point.
You have an action point?
Yeah,
we are. Yeah, got us an action point before.
Rasputin.
Well, he was good for something at least.
I'm gonna use it. My pipe gun. So I got 2 successes. Right?
Yes, and I think you only needed 1 because you're in the same zone, and his defense is only a 1. So yeah.
Cool. I've got a fire rate of 2. So I'm going to throw on 2 more dice for 4 physical damage.
Great. And you didn't choose a hit location, so do you want to roll 1d20?
Yeah. 1.
All right, a 1 hits him.
That's a headshot.
Has a in the head. He does not have any armor there, so you do your full damage. And what was the effect of your weapon? Does it have one?
No, the pipe gun doesn't have an effect.
Okay, 4 damage. Damn! If only you got some more damage for that roll. I guess you could have used your luck to add additional. No, I think that's only melee. Never mind. Sorry. So yeah, that's all set. Still, that's great. 4 damage is awesome. Was there anything else you were going to do on your turn? Use your minor action for anything? I don't think there's much you can do. It's only aim, draw weapon, interact, move, and take chem, so...
Yeah. I don't think so. I guess I could have aimed ahead of time, but I didn't. I guess I'll aim now.
Okay. For the next round.
Yeah, I'll aim for the next round.
Cool. Oh, I guess it does say you make this turn, but that's fine.
Oh,
you can just aim next round. All right. Then Rad Rocky is up next. He's probably, even though he just got hit in the head by you, Shambles, he's probably actually he's a vindictive. He's a raider. He probably will point his gun back at you and try taking a shot. So he'll choose you as his target. He's not going to aim for a specific hit location.
I believe you're defense.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows what Rocky's going to do next?
Yeah. Just does a little hit of crap. What's the basically the speed drug that you
Jet.
Jet. Yeah, he takes a hit of Jet and he's ready to go.
Yeah.
He is using a tire iron to attack you because his sharpshooter's pipe revolver got a complication and jammed. So he drew out his tire iron, and he will use his minor action to take aim at you. You are close range, so I believe that it's just your defense, which is 1 against his strength plus melee weapons, and his target number is 9 for this. So, and he does have this as one of his tag skills. So if he rolls 2 or under, it's 2 successes. So he is aiming for 9. He's making his roll. He got a 4 and a 10. So he does get a hit on you because he had 1 success, which is all he needed. All right, his tire iron does 3 damage die of damage, which is a 2 and 2 1s plus damage effects, but I don't think his tire iron has any damage effect, so it's just 4 damage in total. You don't have any damage resistance, I don't believe, right, Shambles? Oh, for physical? Great.
Yeah, I'm wearing a drifter outfit.
Oh, great. Well, then perfect. I guess I should... No, I guess hit location doesn't matter because that armor just is around you?
No, it's on everything but my face.
Okay, so his hit location was a 15, which is your left leg. So yeah, so it would, yeah. He didn't hit your head, so you're good.
So 4 damage minus 1 to my left leg.
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 total.
Yep.
As a heads up, Spencer, I do think I generated an action point when I attacked because I got 2 successes and I only needed 1.
Yeah. Let me get that damage done, or let me get that action point back on the map for you. Bam! There it is. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, that's the end of Red Rocky's turn. And next up is Blair.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another shot with my 10mm pistol on this guy right here.
Yeah.
And then Charlene will assist me.
Yeah. Perfect.
So they I roll an additional d20 because Charlene is assisting me. And add any
and the important
successes,
thing,
but it's a different technical number or target.
Yeah, target number. Yes, exactly.
Which hers is 7 for biting. So.
Perfect.
So I roll 3d20. I'll roll mine first.
Okay.
And both of mine fail, so...
Oh, yeah, because you have to get 5 or under.
Yeah, so I guess that's it, because she can't... It won't matter if she succeeds or not, because I didn't get any successes, correct?
No, she's
Well,
still, like, assisting you. That can still get you 1 success.
Yeah.
She has a complication.
Oh. Actually, just to clarify, I believe on... Well, that's group tests. Assistance...
Well, no, it says under assistance, then roll a d20 and add any successes you generate to theirs, providing they score at least 1 success of their own.
Yeah.
If they didn't generate any successes, then you can't add your success to the total.
Yeah.
So I am not clear on if I would have rolled for her still.
I
guess I would have because she's assisting.
I do think so. I think it
So then I still have a complication.
Yeah.
Or she has a complication.
Yeah, because you're technically supposed to, like, declare whether or not you're assisting before, like...
And I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlene assisted. Charlene has a complication.
Okay. Did you... I'm not sure if this matters. We probably should have done this beforehand, but were you using your minor action to do anything? Like, did you want to take aim so you could reroll one of your combat die or anything?
Wouldn't that not matter because taking aim makes it more difficult to hit?
The take aim minor action is different than picking a body part to hit.
Yeah. So, yeah.
The take
aim as a minor action compared to picking like choosing a hit location, like choosing a body part. The minor action aim allows you to re-roll 1d20 on the first attack roll you make this turn.
Sure.
Okay.
So
I'm not sure if that extends to Charlene. Like if you get to re-roll her,
because she's not aiming at anything.
But you at least get to do yours. So
I still failed.
Okay. Let me see what kind of... So she basically a complication...
I'm just not good in combat, guys. That's just... I didn't make a good combat character. So that's just going to be our forte. Yeah. So we just have to give Charlene a complication. That's just what happens. So
yeah. And the mechanical thing is just basically further tests with them is just increases their difficulty by 1. I guess I kind of did, since it was his gun and it jammed, he just pulled out a different weapon instead. So do you think it would make sense if maybe she just hurt her paw a little bit? So just her difficulty tests are just increased by 1 in that way? I think that would make the most sense.
Harder to lunge at something.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. Perfect. All right. And I believe that is your turn, Ash. So yes. Next up, this raider up here is going to make an attack. And seeing how the fight's kind of evolving right now, he's actually going to turn his attention to Wham Bam. He chooses you as his target.
Wham Bam don't like pain.
This raider is going to try to shoot you with his pipe gun. I believe your defense is 1.
Yes.
Okay. His pipe gun is agility plus small guns. His target number is 8. So let's see if he gets an attack. He does succeed for 1 attack, but he also gets a complication. So I'm gonna say probably the same thing happens with him, where he's able to get a bullet off, but then the gun immediately just like the barrel like breaks, or like the shaft gets jammed in there too. So let's go ahead and roll his damage, which I believe are 3d6. Yep. So he does 2 damage with the 2. The 6 is 1 damage plus an effect, and the 4 is nothing. So you take 3 damage in total, wham bam. You don't have any armor on, right?
I have torso and right leg.
Okay. He rolled an 18 for your hit location. Let's see where the 18 is. The 18 is your right leg.
Ha! I have 1 physical damage resistance.
Perfect. So instead of 3, you're only taking 2 damage.
Haha, suck it, Trebek. Alex Trebek, R.I.P.
This raider's like, how did you know my name?
Oh.
All right. Next up, we have this next raider. So he's going to make a similar attack. He's still going to be focused on you, Blair. So he's going to do the exact same thing the other one is doing, and making that shot against you. Target number is 8 still. And he does. He gets in 2 successes on you, which I think your defense is still only 1, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and roll his damage location real quick, which is a 19. And then his damage dice is nothing. He rolled 3 and 4s. So he doesn't deal any damage to you.
That's really lucky. So I imagine it just kind of grazes my shoulder or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe Charlene pushes you out of the way just in time.
As the bullet's going by, you could hear the Whisper song by 3-6 Mafia.
Yes.
The bullets
And
look
with
like
that, yeah. Oh. And with that, Dan, it is Wham Bam's turn.
Oh, interesting.
I know, we went through the full round. It's Wham Bam again.
Where's Rocky?
He is in the same zone as you. He's actually currently wailing on Shambles right now.
Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Okay, well, I am going to give him a good old shellacking, but I want to see my minor actions real quick again.
Yeah.
Aim, or if there's something else I want to do.
And hey,
drawing an item, interact, you can move, or if you have any chems, you can take them as a minor action, but that's about it.
I just want to say that Shambles has done more damage to him than he's done to me. I wouldn't classify what's going on as him wailing on me.
So, Wham Bam is probably not concerned about Shambles. He's more mad that this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna go bah! And hit him with aim. He's going to aim as a minor action, and then as a major action, hit him with the board.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and that melee weapons roll. So we're gonna give that a melee. Do I add additional dice? No, I'm not gonna add additional.
You got 1 success. His defense was only 1, so that is a successful attack.
Fantastico.
Dan, you should still re-roll that 16.
I'm gonna re-roll that 16.
Absolutely.
Because I want the AP. There's the AP that we were looking for.
There it is.
Let's go.
Do I have to use... So, using the AP, I basically want to use it for damage on this roll.
You sure can. So this is going to be a big hit, Dan, because as you remember, you get extra damage dice based on your strength as well.
Yeah.
And for melee weapons, you can, for each action point you spend, you add another damage dice to your damage dice pool. And you can spend up to 3 for 3.
So my melee bonus gives me, my board does 4.
Yeah.
And then I'll use my 1 AP for 1 dice. So that's a total of 8 dice.
You technically have 2 in the pool if everybody's okay with you using both of the action points to do 2 extra things of damage.
If you want to go for it, I don't know how. I mean, I only shot him the one time. I think we should take him out. Maybe the other guys scatter if we take him out. I say go for it.
All right, I'm doing it.
All right, add 2 extra. Oh, that's 9 damage is definitely going to inflict an injury as well. Did you roll for a damage hit location yet?
No, I will roll.
Okay, go ahead and do that. This is so much damage.
A 4.
A 4. Okay, let's see where that's at. A 4 is the torso. So that injury to the torso is found on page 32. Torso, you begin bleeding heavily. At the end of each of your subsequent turns, you suffer 2 damage dice, or 2 damage dice physical damage, ignoring all of your damage resistances. He is bleeding out, guys. He's not looking good. He's doing really bad.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm guessing punching doesn't have like any effects.
I don't think so. We can go to because the 2x4. Oh.
You can do an unarmed melee strike. I think there's rules for punching. Yes. Because there's a whole unarmed skill.
Yeah.
On page 111.
Unarmed. Roll a strength and unarmed test with a difficulty equal to your target's defense.
Right. I'm more referring to the result of the combat dice where he got a bunch of Fallout Boy faces. That is 1 damage plus the weapon effect. I was saying I don't think there are like a weapon effect for an unarmed strike.
Correct. Well, yes. Not for the board. On page 111, the board doesn't have any damage effect. It just does the 4 damage, like the 4 normal damage and everything. Some of the other stuff, like a machete, has piercing and stuff. But
what I think you can do is add the melee to give them damage effect. I believe.
There's no damage effect for an unarmed strike unless you.
I was talking about like adding adding barbed wire to a nails to a bat or something. Like mods, I think you can't do that. But yeah, to your point, Ashley, I don't think.
Yeah, because even with literally punching, like if you have a boxing glove, it adds the stunned effect. If you have a death claw gauntlet, it adds the piercing effect. So, did we answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah, the board doesn't have any. If he had something called the gun bash, which I actually don't know what that is, that would have the stun effect.
That's when you just use your gun.
Pistol whip someone.
Yeah.
It's a perk, I think.
Oh, it's awesome. Oh, okay, well, huge amount of damage. You can clearly tell that Rad Rocky is not looking good. He's looking on to be on his last leg, and also he's now bleeding from his torso after that 2x4 hit to the chest, Dan, that Wham Bam inflicted. So we are now back at the top of turn order with Dr.
Wham Bam yells at Rocky, by the way. I forgot to say this. Wham Bam yells at Rocky, "Wham Bam, stronger than Bullet!"
Oh man, that's amazing. You can see the fear in Rad Rocky's eyes as he gazes at you, and you yell that you are stronger than a bullet. fear develops in his eyes, and in his own head he goes, "I think he is." Wham Bam certainly is proving himself to be stronger than bullets right now. So, with that, we're back at the top of turn order with Dr. Rast. How is everybody looking? Nobody's too hurt right now, correct?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
We're doing all right.
I'm at 2/3 health. So
2/3? Okay. So
You feel it like you're at 66%.
I feel like I'm actually at 67%. I like to round.
66.67%.
Actually 66.67 or 0.66 bar if we're
No, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, well, God.
Don't be silly. All right, perfect. Well, Dr. Rast took his turn to try to rally you guys again, and his words are just not having the same effect that it did the first round. Yeah?
I was just saying they're not landing.
No, they are not. So at the next turn, Rad Rocky is going to take his turn next. He's going to do... Yeah, if you want to use your luck, you can do so.
Yeah.
He is going to take 2 damage at the end of his turn, but if you want to rob him of doing a turn, you can still do that.
No, I want to point my pipe gun at him and just be like, if you drop, and like talking to him and the guys, like if you drop all your shit, we'll let you run.
I think you would have to do that on your turn, unfortunately.
I said I want to go first. I usually
that. Sorry, I thought Dan was saying Wham Bam was going to go next. But okay, so you're spending luck to go right now to tell him to give up?
Yep. Telling them to drop their stuff and run.
Yeah. I'm going to say, gosh, is this even going to be a test? I think technically it's a test. But I'm going to say this difficulty is not even a 1. This is probably going to be a difficulty 0 test. And it is definitely using your charisma plus speech skill.
Well, it is a good thing that it is difficulty 0.
All right, 1 success. Great. So you're going to generate 1 action point, and the reason why I was saying this is a difficulty 0 is I'm guessing that's going to be your whole turn doing that, right?
Yes, that would be a major action to do.
Cool. Yep. As it comes to Rad Rocky's turn, he immediately just drops his tire iron and starts running away. So that is how he spends his turn, is he's going to start running away.
Just the tire iron?
Yeah, you said all this shit.
Okay, he drops all of his shit. So
I mean, if he doesn't drop all of his shit, I'm shooting him in the back.
He drops it all. And so with that, I'm trying to find a good bleed out effect. I'll just mark up with this red dot. That would be the end of his turn. And if I remember correctly, he has to take 2 combat dice of damage at the end of this turn. Yep. So let's roll that damage. All right, so that's a 3 and a 5, which is 1 plus the damage effect. So, so you see him, he's like running away. You're like, drop all your shit and get out of here. So he like just drops his like, maybe like a backpack and his like pistol and his tire iron, and he starts running to the hillside. He's like running over to where Dr. Rast is, and you just see him like get this far, and it's as if like his heart just stopped, and he just kind of grabs his chest and he falls over and clumps onto the ground.
Ah, what a chump.
Nice. I'm gonna eat him later.
And that is how poor Rad Rocky passes from this earth. That was your turn, Dalton, and now we're at Blair. The other two raiders are still standing and fighting. They haven't given up.
Okay. Looking at my compatriots, does one of them look a little bit worse for wear than the other?
Yes, definitely this one, because you remember sinking 4 damage from him.
Compatriots. My teammates, Shambles and Wham Bam.
I'm at 66.66 bar health.
Shambles.
I mean, I got damaged, but not much.
Okay. I am going to take a major action. We get 2 minor and 2 major actions, correct?
No. Really? You get
No.
1 and 1.
Okay.
You can attempt 1 major and 1 minor action on your turn in combat. You cannot take more than 2 minor actions and 2 major actions by any means.
You can spend AP
Great.
to do more.
I understand. I'm good. I'm taking a minor action to run to the hillside. Charlene will follow me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the major action to rally. And I'm gonna cheer on Shambles, and I'm gonna argue that I can use charisma and speech because I'm gonna be using my words. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, you tell him, Shambles, you scared him to death. Keep it up.
Perfect. Yeah. So go ahead and make that check.
Charisma plus speech, then.
Yep.
So that's a target number of 9. Difficulty of 0, correct?
Correct.
But 1 success, I get 1 additional action point for the crew.
Awesome. So yes, you generate 1 AP. Your pool is now sitting at 2 AP in the pool.
I feel like that's going to be more helpful than me shooting and missing again.
Possible. FYI, Ash, if you have your character sheet filled out in Roll20, to do the thing I'm doing where it like rolls and like does the things for you.
Yeah, how do you do that?
If you click the skill, it'll automatically kind of like do it with the default attribute. If you want to do the skill with a different attribute, you can click the attribute and then pick and kind of like switch which special trait goes along with it before you click.
Cool. That's cool.
Sweet.
You can even roll to assist. Very cool. We're learning new things, everyone.
Yeah. I love that Roll20 has all this integration in it. It makes it really nice. All right. And with that, so we're at the Raiders' turn. This one at the top is going to take his turn first. I believe I said his gun jammed. So he's going to use a minor action to draw his tire iron instead, and he's gonna move into melee distance. Well, I mean, he's just gonna move up to Shambles and try to take a whack at him.
Even after I did such a good job intimidating them all?
Yes, those raiders were not intimidated, but basically I was making that a difficulty 0 to see if Rad Rocky would run away, and then you generate any AP to help you out with the rest of the fight.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't clear. I was trying to threaten all of them if I wasn't clear in what I was saying I was doing.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Too late now. Just move past it.
Cool. Yeah, so the raider, he is going to make his attack. So, same as what he's been doing before. I think his target number is 8. Yes, for his tire iron strength melee, target number 8, and he got under for both. But not under his melee weapons, which is attack skill for 2, so we are good. So he's gonna do 4 physical damage to you, but let's see where it's gonna hit you. A 5, so that is going to be
Torso.
So it is 4 damage dice to your torso. So that is, the 3 is nothing, the 2 is 2 damage, the 4 is nothing, the 3. So only 2 damage to your torso.
Cool. 1 damage.
Okay. And then the next raider is going to close in on Wham Bam and do the exact same thing. All right. He gets 1 success on you. So then he is going to do, well, let's see where he hits as well. A 15, which is left leg. And then let's roll that damage. He got 3 damage in total to your left leg, Dan, or Wham Bam.
Yeah, now I'm at like half health.
Okay, cool.
So I do have a question.
Go ahead.
If say Wham Bam has gotten shot multiple times in the left arm and then sustains a total of 5 points of damage, does the arm become injured? So should we be keeping track of where we're accumulating? It only happens so Dan could take all of his injuries to the arm over multiple things, but it'll never sustain a true injury unless it's 5 in one shot.
Correct. On page 32, it just says critical hits and injuries, and a critical hit occurs whenever a character suffers 5 or more damage in 1 hit. Okay. So not over time.
Sounds good.
But good question. Yeah, it's only in 1 hit, not accumulative.
Cool.
Cool. And with that, Dan, it is Wham Bam's turn.
The guy's right in front of me, right?
Yes, both of them. There's a weaker one and a fully health one.
I go for the fully health one.
Okay.
Where I aim with my minor action.
Yep.
And this is a melee weapons roll. Do it.
Oh, 2 successes! It was his defense was only 1.
So that's a point of AP. I'd like to add that to the damage total, please.
Let's do it. I won't even add it to the map because you're just already adding it to the pool.
Do you want to use any of the other APs?
Yeah, there's 2 other ones as well.
Can I use both of those?
I mean, if Shambles and Blair is okay with that.
I mean, they're in the party pool. I don't think they're in the party pool for you to use.
Yeah, all right. I'm using them. I want to use, so that's 3 for my melee bonus, 4 for the board, 3 from AP for a total of 10. Just want to make sure that we're
doing this right.
Okay.
That the math's mathin'.
Math be mathin'. Wow. Way worse.
He just rolled for the hit location too.
I forget though that that's like a critical hit. So, that's torso.
Bleeding out.
As well.
Yeah, he's also bleeding out. It's the
it's like internal bleeding though.
Torso. I told you I'm stronger than Bullet.
So it's 8 damage in total. But he does have 1 damage resistance because he has armor on his torso. So it brings it down to 7 damage, but you do inflict an injury. I imagine this is like hitting him so hard with that board in the chest, it like breaks his like rib cage. And,
No,
and like
you ruptured his spleen. He's bleeding into his belly.
Or like the rib cage like punctured his lung.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
So he is not looking great. He looks the same as Rad Rocky did before Rad Rocky just fell and died. So not great. And then next up is Dr. Rast's turn. And he's going to do a minor action to move up and get right next to you, Dan, right next to Wham Bam. And I believe he is going to do first aid on you. I'm just trying to make sure. He's using a stim pack. So I was trying to use, let's see here. Oh, a stim pack is a minor action. Oh.
Well, he could do first aid.
Yeah, I guess he'll do first. I think as a part of first aid, if I remember correctly, you can use a stim pack in the middle of first aid to kind of heal additional damage. So he'll probably do that.
It doesn't say anything about that under major action first aid. Heal HP equal to medicine rating, treat one injury, stabilize a dying. Does it say something else on page 34?
Yes, 34. With the first aid major action, you may administer a stim pack as part of the action. The patient regains 4 HP immediately, in addition to any other effects. And any AP spent to heal additional health points heal twice as much, 2 HP per AP spent rather than 1. So he's administering it as part of the action. So treating an injury, first aid, where is that at? No.
So
getting help. Yeah.
As an FYI to keep track of everything, it does say that you can't use a stim pack if you don't like actively have it out. Like you have to use a minor action to like get it out.
He also already used a minor action to move.
Yeah, if you're not like actively holding it.
Okay. So then, he's just gonna do first aid since he doesn't have a stim pack out. So he is doing an int medicine test and will heal a number of HP equal to his medicine skill, an additional 1 HP for every AP he spends, but I don't think he's going to do that. So intelligence medicine, Dr. Rast has an intelligence of 8. His medicine is a 4, which is also a tagged skill. So let's see here. It says passing an intelligence plus medicine test, but let's see here. I believe it's equal to the number of injuries. No, that's stabilizing. I was trying to see what the difficulty for the first aid action is.
So it's based on the number of injuries that the person has.
Yeah.
Which is 0. So perfect. So I said his intelligence 8. So his target number is 12. And he gets if it's 4 or under, he gets 2 successes. So, hey, all right. So his target number was 12. He got 2 12s, so that's 2 successes. Since you don't have any injuries, I believe that's a difficulty of 0. So he's going to generate 2 action points, which he's probably just going to spend to heal you more, because from that, you get to heal 4 from the medicine. And he'll go ahead and spend both of those APs to heal you 2 more points. So you heal a total of 6 points, Dan.
Thank you. Maybe I won't eat you.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. He still hasn't betrayed us in the vault yet.
Grandma said maybe. It was a maybe. Think about not eating him now. He was pretty sure he was going to eat him before. He's thinking about maybe not eating him.
Okay.
Well, next up, after Dr. Rast, it's normally supposed to be Rad Rocky, but he's dead. So, Shambles, it is your turn.
Yeah, their boss went out like a fucking chump. I will attack probably the one that's not bleeding.
Yeah, so that's this guy down here. Yep. His defense is 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's really like anything out of the ordinary. It's still just a normal attack. We don't have any action points, right?
No, Dr. Rast, gain 2 and use both of them to heal up Wham Bam.
Okay. So let's see here. I will have aimed, and that means I can re-roll that 20.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. It's still just one success, but that's all I need, and it's not a complication. So I'm gonna roll damage. I'm gonna add some additional dice because I have a fire rate of 2 for 4 physical damage to 14 his right arm.
He does have armor on his arms, so he blocks 1 of that damage. So he takes 3 damage in total. He also looks to be on one of his last legs. And that was it for Shambles, right, Dalton?
Yep.
Perfect. Blair, it is your turn.
Yeah, so Blair is going to take the major action rally again, and she is gonna turn her attention to Wham Bam, and she's gonna be like, "You bammed his wham all the way to the moon!" Arguing that I can use the charisma and speech one again, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I click on it. I don't have additional dice. I hit submit. This is also a tagged skill. Oh, fuck me. Quack me. Nothing happens.
Dan.
I didn't get Wham Bam's attention. He thought it was dumb.
Dan, what is Wham Bam's love language? Is it not words of affirmation then?
Must be something else.
Is it gifts?
The gifts? It's postcards.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably gifts. It's like kind of like how a cat leaves you a dead bird in front of your house, or my cat completely disemboweled a mouse and left it at the bottom of the stairs for us all to see. That's kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he'll show if you'll just find little gifts and in places you're not expecting. So.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Oh, incredible. Well, unfortunately, Blair, with that, It is now the Raiders' turns.
That's fine.
The first one up top here, he is going to do the same thing he did last time to you, Shambles, and he's going to attempt to do that melee attack against you while bleeding from the chest. I believe his target number was 8, so I think he does get a hit on you. Yes, target number 8. So let's see where he's heading. 6, which is a torso hit. He's rolling 4 of these guys, so let's do 4d6. So that is 3 damage to your torso. And then at the end of his turn, he is going to take 2d6 of damage because he's bleeding out. And that is 1 damage. He only had 1 health remaining after that Wham Bam hit. So I like to imagine he hits you with this tire iron, Shambles, and then he just collapses under his own weight as he bleeds out. And that is the end of that Raider. Then next up, the next Raider is going to go. And this time, he's going to attack Dr. Rast because he he's intimidated. He sees him come in and start patching up Wham Bam, and he gets all angry and starts to go after him. So Dr. Rass's defense is 1, so it's going to be the same as everything else. 2d20, target number 8. He gets 1, so let's roll that damage. Oh, he is doing, I think he still has a pipe gun, so he's doing his pipe gun attack, which is target number for the pipe gun is 8 with 3 damage doing that. Okay. So yeah.
When you say 3 damage, do you mean you roll 3 combat dice to determine damage, or that you already did that and he's getting 3 damage?
Nope. Yeah, sorry. It meant to say 3 combat dice.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was a 3, a 2, and a 5. So 3 damage in total. Because that 2 is 2 damage and the 5 is 1 plus a damage effect. So he does 3. Oh, let me make sure. Is Dr. Rast wearing any armor? Dr. Rast is wearing a lab coat.
It does not have armor. I've looked it up. No resistances. Unless it's a special lab coat.
So here's the thing. It is a special lab coat. Let's see here. How much did I say? 3 damage in total? Let's see where this is going to hit, because I think the lab coat covers his body, but not his head. 16 is a left leg hit. So he takes no damage. And now it's Wham Bam's turn.
You know, if that lab coat has a visible, like, red cross or something on it, he's a medical professional, and what he just did is a war crime.
Good thing he had a fancy lab coat to protect him.
Yeah.
Is this guy a synth? Like, holy shit. Anyway, am I still standing next to this guy? Is Wham Bam's enemies in front? Okay, Wham Bam hit.
Yep. Wham Bam hit. Defense 1. All right. That's an extra AP.
I use it for damage.
I will. You're welcome to do so, but I will let you know that he was at half health before he was hit last time, and now he looks like he's barely hanging on. Just in case you want to use that AP for other things.
Yeah, what else can I use it for? I'm trying to remember.
You can just hold on to it. It's just like a general pool, so outside of combat you could use it as well.
Like ask questions and things like that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it in the pool.
Cool. All right.
To the pool we go. All right. So my melee bonus is 3. But adding any dice. Okay. So I'm just gonna do this for the board. And 5 physical damage. So he takes it.
All right. You can roll that location. It's not gonna matter. Even if you do.
Scene.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yes.
That's also a left leg hit.
Left leg hit. Okay, he doesn't have any armor on there. So Dan, he only had 1 health left. So what happens here? What does this look like as Wham Bam wails on him?
Yeah, so Wham Bam hits him. And then like he hits him so hard breaks, and then Wham Bam like when I say the knee breaks, like gory, like in a gory way. Like it like just breaks off, and he like it's like hanging on by by the skin, and he rips that, and then he just like starts eating the turkey.
He's a cannibal?
He's a super mutant.
I guess that's normal for you guys, but Blair doesn't know that.
Yeah. Blair's getting the first taste of seeing a super mutant just going to town on his enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the final raider has been killed. So you guys have successfully won your first combat. Dr. Rast kind of looks at all of you afterwards and kind of checks in to see if anybody is still hurt or needs any assistance. He pulls out a stim pack and offers it to anybody who might need to be healed at this time.
I immediately start going through their stuff.
Great. Okay, great. So,
while he's eating the raider, he looks at Dr. Rass and goes, "Guess I won't have to eat you. I got dinner." Okay.
Dr. Rass gives like a thumbs up, a shaky thumbs up.
And like, Wham Bam's not kidding.
Blair calls out to Wham Bam, and she's like, "Hey, buddy, do you normally eat people's legs?"
Yeah. People are humans. Yeah. I eat humans. Humans. Although the humans don't taste the same. Postcards. Since humans are ones who made postcards. Conflicted. Prefer Mirelurks. Mirelurks are the tastiest.
She turns to Rast and she's like, "Is this normal?"
We should be just thankful this guy isn't wanting to do the same to us right now.
Oh, okay.
So Shambles, you start going through the bodies. So on each of the raiders, they have on them road leathers, a pipe gun, a tire iron, and Wealth 1. I'm not sure what Wealth 1 is, but I do have here how many caps you are able to find on them, as well as some additional ammo. So, let's see here. So that's the inventory of just one raider. So if you were searching both raiders, you get 2 of each of those items. And then on each raider corpse, you find 1d20 caps and 10 plus 5 d6s rounds of 38 ammo.
Okay. So let's...
I have stuff for Rad Rocky, but I don't want to overwhelm you right now.
Okay, so you said it was 1d20 caps per person?
Yes. So 3d20?
Well, you said you weren't going to do Rad Rocky yet, or should we just do that?
Okay. Yeah, just 2d20 then.
Okay. It's 25 caps. Calculator. 25 times 0.4. Not plus, times. I give... I feel sad for not recognizing that number immediately. I give 10 caps to Ashley's character. To Blair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I didn't think 60-40 started out here. Thanks, man.
I'm a man of my word. You make a deal out in the waste, you keep it.
Thank you.
Wham Bam doesn't understand the conversation that's going on, but he just is very happily he's got his
Manchin.
He's got his loot.
Yeah,
he hasn't gotten his end loot, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then there was possibly ammo.
Yes, it's 10 plus 5 of the Fallout Boy D6 or
combat dice.
Yeah, the combat dice rounds of 38 ammo, and that's per person as well.
Okay, how many dice was it?
5. So 10 plus 5.
Okay. 5 per person, right?
It's 10 plus 5 per person. So it's not 5 per person. It's 10. It's so in total for 2 people, it's 20 plus 10 dice.
I just needed to know how many dice to roll.
Okay.
So that's 29, 38 ammo total. Blair, does your gun use 38?
Nah, 10 millimeter.
keeping it all to myself then.
That's fine.
All right, yeah, I that's all. Like I go through their stuff. I'm like throwing random stuff out of their bag, trying to get to the good stuff.
Yeah. On Red
Come on, baby. Where are the cams? Where are the cams, baby? Show me the cams. And sell that shit for
Where's
that money.
On Red Rocky, he has very similar stuff. He also has road leathers. His pipe revolver, though, is a sharpshooter's pipe revolver. It has the sharpshooter's grip mod on it, and also another tire iron. And he does the same thing as well. He has 1d20 caps on him, as well as 10 plus 5 rounds of 5 of the damage dice rounds of 38 as well.
Blair, you get 5 more caps.
Thank you.
And then another 10, another 13. Okay, I'll have to look up how much of that I can actually carry later.
Yeah, all the encumbrance rules.
Yeah.
While you guys are kind of searching and dividing up the loot, Dr. Rasp turns to you and goes, I think I recognize these guys, these raiders. I think they're part of the larger group, the Gunners, a vicious group of mercenary killers. For those who don't know, and he turns to Blair when he says that.
Gotcha. Are they common around these parts, or is this out of sorts for them to be this far away from everything?
Nope, this is pretty common. Yeah.
I guess I need to work on my aim.
And Dr. Rasp, hearing that, he kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. And he goes, "That's okay. We can leave the combat to these guys. We can stay behind and kind of touch up any wounds that might need done."
I'm definitely better at that than shooting.
All right, with that, what are you guys kind of doing now? You've looted the bodies. Nobody seems to be seriously hurt right now, right? So,
do we hear screaming from the vault still?
other than the initial scream, there's no current screaming.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I take one of the tire irons, one of the bloodier ones, probably one that got used, and I kind of shove it in the doctor's chest. And I say that if you're gonna roll with us, you're gonna have to look out. You're gonna have to be able to protect yourself.
Oh, okay. I can do that. He kind of takes like a secondary grip on it. Yeah, I'll do that. What was your name, by the way? I don't think I caught any of your names.
Name's Shambles.
Blair, and that creature is Charlene. She's my loyal compatriot.
Wham Bam's playing with Charlene and is not paying attention to Dr. Rest at all. So
Is he playing much like how you're playing with your cat right now?
And I imagine because of how big Wham Bam is, that's actually like an accurate size comparison.
Dr. Rast kind of goes, has Charlene always been the way that she looks?
For 2 weeks, but she's yeah. I'm not sure if it's old burns that have healed, or if it's the radiation. She's like trying not to say ghoul because she's worried that that's like a bad word.
Right. Yeah.
Wham Bam responds and says, as Charlene jumps out of his arms. He's surprised. She, like, super dog. She like us. She like me. He doesn't know how to articulate that Charlene also has the FEV, but he knows how to play with those dogs because he's played with plenty of super mutant dogs before.
Yeah.
There's like an extra level of understanding there.
Yeah.
Dr. Rask goes, I think Wham Bam, yes, I think she is a super like you. I think that's true.
Can we go find postcards now?
Yes, Wham Bam.
Let's go in the
Okay. Excellent idea.
Thank you.
So each of you head.
Even are you people?
We've been over this, Wham Bam. I'm Blair. That's Shambles. This is Dr. Rast, and that's Charlene you were playing with.
What kind of weapon makes the noise Blair?
Maybe a flare gun.
No, those sound like foof. I know a guy named Foof. Real asshole.
I guess it's a good thing that's not my name.
Oh man.
We walk up
right.
to the vault.
Yep.
Blair has no idea how to respond.
So you make it past the huge gear-like door that the vaults are known for, that protects the vaults and the shelter from the outside. You cross the rickety walkway leading through the entrance of the vault. The old metal creaks beneath you, underscoring the howling of a radioactive windstorm building outside. An elevator stands at the end of the path to the vault. Above its dented doorway hangs a wide green sign from the old world. A notice from the Vault-Tec Corporation that reads, Vault 93, welcome home. Proceed in an orderly fashion. And let me go ahead and show you just the next scene. And boom. Here's Vault. Ignore the 95. It's actually 93. So that's you guys entering into the vault. And I think this is a great time to end our very first session of Fallout. And kind of pick up next week with you guys actually going into the vault and kind of figuring out more about who screams that was, what's going on in there, and why is there a trail of blood. So I think that will be a great thing to do next time. So, to all of our viewers, if you have any questions about the game, feel free to leave them. We're happy to answer them now. But guys, how do you feel so far? We did a lot. We did like the basic mechanics of the game. We did not only skill check, but we did combat today. We went through all of that. How's that kind of feeling so far, and does it make sense?
Yeah, I kind of made a broken character, I think. I might have min-maxed a little too hard. Sorry, guys.
I don't know. I mean, like, you definitely have to be, like, in melee. We were lucky that these guys, like, charged us.
Well, that's also,
front.
I think, kind of why I took the Pain Train perk, so that I could make an attack and move at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if we say get ambushed by someone up a ledge that we can't climb,
You're gonna be like SOL.
I
can throw my Molotov cocktails up there, guys.
I have a pipe rifle. Wham Bam has a pipe rifle. Super have shots, and I'm really hoping eventually that we find like a missile launcher or some sort of big gun, and then he can get, because he's really skilled at that too.
Yeah.
That's fun. I definitely feel like I understand combat a lot more now than I did going into this. I felt like I had a lot of confusion about numbers of actions and minor and major, and how to make attacks and things like that. So I definitely feel better about it. I feel like I would have put my skills a different way if I understood what was used more.
Yeah. And,
but that's okay.
I definitely encourage other game masters to do this too. And Ash, in between this week and next week, if you want to reallocate anything, like that's what I think, like, especially when you're trying a new game, you don't really know what's going to be important. You don't know what really is important to invest in and stuff like that. So if you want to rearrange any skills or anything like that, you definitely can. That's why it's kind of confusing at first where you're like, oh, I don't know, like putting points, like your weapon obviously was a small gun, and I'm not sure if maybe you accidentally put points into like endurance and like the big guns or the energy weapons and perception when you don't have an energy weapon yet. That would definitely be a hindrance at the beginning because you're like, well, I didn't specialize in this. And like we were seeing before, you had a fourth of a chance on both dice to get a hit because you only have a 5. Yeah.
I put my weapons into the explosives. But I couldn't throw an explosive because I was gonna hurt everyone else. So.
And I think explosives are good, but it's definitely like a combat opener and not for like.
I understand that more now.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to change anything in between this week and next week, feel free to do so. Because I think definitely with a new game, it's hard to know what's going to be good and how it works.
I think that's the beauty of learning, right? Is seeing what's good, what's not, and adjusting from there.
Yeah.
Dalton, what do you think?
I'm definitely feeling like I got the kind of like a better hang of how things play and how things work. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure to be with luck.
That is probably going to be very dependent on Spencer.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say, looking at it right now, because it says like a milestone or stuff, if you guys like rested, like if you're like, you know what, we're not going to go into the vault, we're going to sleep out here and took like a good like 8-hour rest, I'd probably give you luck back. But if you weren't, like the first of the 3 quests in or adventures in the starter set, this first one takes place all in the vault. So I would probably give it back after you've done the mission of the vault. Is like, okay, this is definitely a milestone. You guys get luck back and stuff like that. Because there was only really like 1 combat that you guys did and like a couple checks, I probably wouldn't give you back luck in between this week and next. I'd probably do it a little bit later, just because like luck is a pretty powerful thing, and you have a lot of luck points still remaining. So that's how I would roll it.
Yeah, and it says when you reach a milestone in your quest or when you start a new quest. So I think that does leave room for like regaining luck in the middle of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like
definitely up to
the
GM.
So there we go. Yeah. Well, with that, I believe we have some attributions to say thank you to.
Yep, I can do those. Thank you to Modiphius for creating the Fallout RPG. To MattHPhotos for the background image. What's up, Spencer?
Oh, I was just going to say, tag on to Modiphius. Right now, they're having a 33% off sale for all of their Fallout stuff. That's the Fallout RPG and Wasteland Wanderers. I think that's what it's called. It's like their miniature like figure kind of war game, I believe. I think that's how it is. But basically, it's 33% off everything because in the Fallout TV show, the main vault is Vault 33. So it's kind of like a play on that. But yeah, a lot of the stuff is like super affordable. The starter set, I think, is like $29, which is like a really good price for a starter set. Like I said, it's like a third of the price of off of everything, which is pretty great. So
That's just on their website?
Yes, it's on their website directly. So go to Modiphius's website. We're not sponsored. I just thought it was neat that I was in preparation for the show. They did that, and I was like, oh, well, if you're interested, check it out. But anyways, Dalton, You may continue.
Cool. Thanks to the Victor Herbert Orchestra for the recording of the Amir. You can kind of hear it playing in the background. Roll 20 for the virtual tabletop, and I'm guessing Modiphius for like the integration. And Hero Forge for all of the miniature art you can see. We used Hero Forge to make all of those.
Yeah. I stand corrected. The starter set is $23.17. But anyways, yes.
Even better.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. Check out next week when they dive deeper into the vault. But keep on learning.
Wham Bam hits more people with boards.
Chest pain and bleeding.
Bye, everybody.